There's two specific questions I've asked myself when I've been in a down period, a low point in my life. The two specific questions are, how long will it take me to heal or get over this thing? And the other question is, will I ever feel joy again? And these questions intertwine with relationships, money, or just decisions that went wrong and you suffered some type of traumatic event, whether financially, emotionally, or even physically, which to a certain degree I've been through. And to answer them directly and quickly, and then I'll give you some feedback on it, it'll take about 1 to 3 years. If you stop now and if you go in a different direction now, 1 to 3 years. Every time you go back towards the opposite direction, you may restart that clock. And then to answer your question, will you ever feel joy again? The answer is yes, but you will be forever different. So let me expand on those two things in a brief way, but a detailed way to give you some insight and hopefully some guidance. One is, again, when you're in a low point, when you feel like you went down the wrong path, when you've suffered some type of traumatic event, physically, emotionally, or financially, the first step, okay, is to pause, stop yourself, because you're going in the wrong direction. Think of you driving a car. Stop the car. Don't make a dramatic turn per se, but just stop the car, pull over, assess the damage, physically, emotionally, financially. Assess where you're at and be honest with yourself. Then, once you accept the data, once you accept the assessment, some people can't accept it. Some people can't accept the truth and they keep going right down it because it's just too hard to bear. Always got to be honest with yourself. Because remember, if you can't be honest with yourself, you're going to suffer more than you need. And because I do believe and I do know that you can turn the ship around, you can feel joy again, you can recover physically, emotionally, financially, in most situations. Certainly there's some things, guys, that, it's just devastating, but don't compare your journey to someone else. Don't compare anything. Just do what you can within your abilities where you're at in this life. Don't think of all the worst case scenarios. Because most scenarios, you can do something about it today, right now, and start is the first step. Pause, assess, and turn the ship around. And then, as you're honest with yourself, say, okay, this is the wrong direction. Okay. And you do have to turn into a different direction, which means you have to put energy into turning around. And then you got to stay focused. That's a key word, focused. When you're on the right track and you have sustainability, because remember, you can be on the right track in life, physically, emotionally, financially. You can be on the right track, but you cannot sustain it. Meaning that you could lose weight, you could lose 20 pounds, but you could not sustain it off. You could make $2,000 this month in investments and you can lose $20,000 next month. Sustainability. You can cut someone off, but then 2 months later, you're back texting them. Sustainability. Sustaining the right path means that you have months, years of data, years of evidence to show that you're on the right track. Once you build up those habits and patterns, you can put the car on cruise control a little bit. Why? Because the intense level of focus doesn't need to be as sharp. You always need to be aware. But when you need to turn the ship around, you can't play games. You have to be very focused on yourself, not other people, and very firm in the direction that you need to go, the opposite direction. And no contact with bad relationships. Maybe pause in investing. And maybe start with cheat days on the weekends for your diet, but then maybe cut them out. Because you need to build a lifestyle where you don't just do good on the weekdays and then cheat yourself on the weekends. You got to build a sustainable, that's the key word, life. There's plenty of people, guys. They're successful in many terms where you see them like they're billionaires. But if you look at their track record in life, they're boom and bust people. Okay. They boom, bust, boom, bust. Sustainability is a sign of a healthy spirit, a healthy strategy. And that should always be a goal, healthy. Nothing's perfect. No one's perfect. But overall, a goal should be to do something, whether physically, emotionally, or financially, do something in a healthy way where you can sustain it so that you can feel joy again. And the joy is not a sugar spike on a weekend treat. The joy is not going back to your ex and then regurgitating the same stuff that you left them for a week later. The joy is being able to adapt and live a different life without your old life. And you feel joy again in a different way, because life, guys, life leaves scars, physically, emotionally, and financially. But you can heal. Time does heal, but it also, you're different, and that's okay, but that's what life is. You can't be the same. You can't be Peter Pan. You can't try to stay an infant forever. You'll suffer more. So to answer your question, and my question that I had directly at different low points in my life, the answer is it's going to take about 1 to 3 years to recover financially, emotionally, physically sometimes, from a severe setback. But the good news is if you started yesterday, you're 1 day closer. And there's no exact science, so, you can be 4 months into it, and then all of a sudden, things start turning around quick. You get momentum. But only if you're in the right direction and maintaining, sustaining it. Because if you're playing around, if you're going in a parking lot, out of a parking lot, in a parking lot, and you're just doing U-turns, you're not in a position. You're not in a position to gain momentum. And you're not in a position to feel joy again. It's all about positioning. Because there's no way you can map out life. If you could map out life, then there'd be one way to do things. Everyone would do them that way, and there'd be no suffering. Everyone is unique. But there's general things. And if you do things in general in a healthy, sustainable way, what happens is things start to break after a period of time, whether 1 to 3 years, whether 4 months, 8 months, over a period of sustainable good habits, of not having contact with them, of trying not to repeat patterns of financial failure, by trying, to sustain different foods over a long period of time, not doing the keto diet, not doing fasting, trying to figure out nutrition long term. These are things long term I've been through physically, emotionally, financially. Now, again, your experience may be different. I'm sharing some things that may help you, a seed that may help you. You got to figure out your own life. Never forget that. Your therapist can help you, and they can give you tools, resources, and insights, but you have to figure out your own life. That includes me. People can help you. People can help me, but I still have to do the work of my life. After this video, I have to go in the gym. What the fuck are you going to do after this video? You going to watch another video? You going to leave another comment? Why don't you get off your ass? Why don't you change your phone number and do that for a year straight? Change it today. Only give people your phone number that are business contacts in your inner circle, and maintain that for a year with no contact with every unhealthy relationship. These are things you got to be very focused when you have to change this direction. And once you have a period of time, extended time, when you're going in the right direction, then you could go a little bit more in cruise control. But always be aware. I hope this video helped. If it did, click that thumbs up. Share the video. Hit a super thanks if it really blessed you. Hit the blue join button. Thank you to all my members. I still see you and I appreciate you. And after this video, you better start. Because guess what? Tomorrow, I'll have another video. And if you don't start today, what am I going to say tomorrow that's a different thing? There's nothing different, guys. Nothing new under the sun. No fucking magic thing. But if you start today, before you know it's next week. I've done 5 other videos now. Now, it may not be a big difference, but if you do that for 5 months, for 15 months, for 25 months. Now, you've recovered, you felt joy again. It all determines what you do right now. And then what you do tomorrow. Then what you do the next day, next day, next day, next day. Put one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. You fall, you get back up, but try to have sustainable things. I hope this video helped.